Welcome to the Social Smarty Scoop, your weekly roundup of all the social media marketing news you need to know for the week ending the 23rd of March 2025. Let's dive on in. First up this week, Instagram is testing out AI-generated comments on posts. So you won't even need to come up with your own opinion or your own original thoughts. We can just use AI to write comments for us. Now, I don't like this. I think this is taking AI a little bit too far. I mean, it's one thing to use AI for content ideas, content creation, even customer service. I don't mind that. But I just don't think we should be outsourcing our own thoughts. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this one. Now, Meta Business Suite has introduced some new media editing tools to its app, meaning when you upload a photo or video, you'll now have some really basic editing tools, including adding stickers, text, drawing on photos, and even using some effects. Now, I personally still like to edit using different apps, but if you just want a really quick sort of basic editor, then you can do that right in the Business Suite app or on your computer, on your browser. Now, Instagram has started rolling out its new Maps feature to more users. Now, I have spotted this in my own profile. So what you might see is when you open up your Instagram app, you'll see your usual line of stories at the top of the app. But right in the front, I actually spotted one that said Map. When I clicked on it, it opened up a map of the world and I could see where some of my friends or connections were. Now, this is dependent on them sharing their location. So it may be that your friends or your connections don't have those settings turned on and they're not actually sharing their location. But I could only see, I think, about 2 or 3 of my connections from memory. So it hasn't really taken off, but this is a big feature over on Snapchat. So if it does take off, this could be a little bit of a competition with Snapchat. Now, LinkedIn has launched a new integration with Calendly. Now, Calendly is the appointment booking software. It is very, very common with people in my industry, with coaches, consultants for booking out time and appointments in your calendar. Now, this integration with LinkedIn means that people will be able to book appointments or meetings directly through your LinkedIn profile. So effectively, they can click on the link, book some time in your calendar using Calendly without actually leaving the profile. Now, one thing to note is this new integration will only be available to LinkedIn Premium members, so those who are paying a monthly subscription for LinkedIn. Instagram Reels is testing a new feature to automatically share new Reels to stories. Now, my usual workflow is share the Reel, wait about an hour, 2 hours, and then I share it to my stories. And the reason for that is I get that initial boost of reach and engagement, and then it sort of dies off, and then I share to get that next sort of level of reach and engagement. So this is not something that I think I will be using. I quite like my own strategy, but absolutely, if it's something that you might forget to do later on, then I think this is a really great new feature. Now, YouTube is testing a new feature on both mobile and desktop that allows viewers to hide end screens. Now, end screens are those promotional sort of thumbnails or product listings that pop up at the end on the screen at the end of a video. Now, I don't like this. I think that those are really useful for content creators to get people to take the next action that we want them to take, that we want the viewer to take. So I don't like the idea of viewers being able to hide that end screen. So I do not support this test. Now, LinkedIn has rolled out a new game. I am absolutely addicted to LinkedIn's games. I play them every single night when I'm putting the kids to bed, and they've rolled out a new one called Zip. Now, this is a little bit different than the others. The goal of this game is to draw a path with your finger through the grid by connecting the numbers in order. So from 1 to usually at 6, 7 or 8, you've got to go through each of the individual numbers, but you need to make sure that every single cell is used and you can't cross over the line. I'm sure I'm not explaining it very well, but if you go into your LinkedIn app on your phone, have a look on the left-hand panel for puzzle games and try out Zip. Instagram now allows you to zoom in and out on stories by pinching the screen. Now, this is something that has always frustrated me. And the only way that we could actually zoom into someone's story in the past was to take a screenshot and then have a look at the photo in our camera roll, zoom in on the photo. So I tested this out before I began recording this podcast, and it was so easy to do. I opened up stories, I saw a story, and I literally just pinched to zoom in, and it just zoomed right in on that story, which was awesome. Another Instagram update, you can now archive your highlights on Instagram. Now, I am talking about the whole highlight. So what is a highlight? A highlight is when we bring together a whole lot of stories that we have shared and we give them a label, and they sit on our profile at the top, sort of in between our bio and our grid. So in the past, you would have to archive off each individual story to get rid of that highlight, which was so frustrating if you had lots and lots of stories. So now it's really simple. Just tap on the highlight. You'll see the 3 dots there. Click on there, and you now have the option to archive that entire highlight. Threads is testing a new weekly recap feature. Now, this will provide a bit of an overview of your account activity and also some extra tips, some tips to improve your reach. You can enable notifications so that you receive this weekly update. LinkedIn is continuing to double down on video and has shared some really good tips in the new Create Video newsletter. Now, the tips are all around helping you improve your video content strategy. I will pop a link to that new newsletter, so it's called Create Video, in the show notes. And lastly, this week, it wouldn't be a weekly update without more news on the pending US TikTok ban. Now, a deal to keep TikTok operating in the US could actually be finalized by the April deadline, which is coming around really quickly. This would mean that there would be a distinctly American version of TikTok in the US. Now, US Vice President J.D. Vance, he has been put in charge of organizing this whole TikTok deal. He has said that he is hopeful the agreement will address national security concerns, and Oracle, who is known for its cloud and database solutions and who already handles TikTok's US user data, is reportedly the government's preferred partner. So we are getting closer and closer with this one. There we have it. That is your weekly roundup of all the social media marketing news you need to know for the week ending the 23rd of March, 2025. As always, if you have a minute, I would love you to leave me a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this podcast. And if you want to continue the conversation, you'll find me all over social media at socialsmarty.co. Until next week, stay social.